was thrilled to have won this competition and getting a win over Poole and Maynard, two of the very best bodybuilders in the world. Some very weird things happened afterwards. I was told that spectators were still waiting outside the Brooklyn Academy of Music until 3 a.m. Joe Weider told me he hadn't seen or heard this much excitement since he took Betty to a Beatles concert. Beatlemania was going crazy then. Joe suggested this might be Scott Mania. I was starting to feel uncomfortable with how the Olympia was being publicized. Ricky Wayne was a sensation in competing in the Mr. Universe. We would soon see that he had another skill writing. He would write his account of the 1965 Mr. Olympia, and although the article was excellent, he referred to me as the eighth wonder of the world. I was Mr. Olympia. I did not consider myself a wonder. Scott continued. Bud Parker, the VP for the IF for North America Writing in Muscle Builder, declared, "Last year we sent our invitations. This year we are sending out a challenge. You bodybuilders claiming to against Scott, show up or shut up." Pretty bold talk. I didn't like that sort of talk. That wasn't me. I knew what they were trying to do, really build the Mr. Olympia up, but I didn't like the way they were doing it. John Twinchell, writing for Iron Man magazine, said, "In his present condition, Scott is a match for anyone in the world. In fact, the real question is there anyone who is a match for Scott? Come on, Bill Pearl, Reg Park, and anyone else. Can you match up to Scott?" Even Dan Lurie, who was a rival to Joe Weider in his magazine Muscle Training Illustrated, wrote, "Compared to Scott, the Farnese Hercules looks like a 97 lb weakling." I had made tremendous progress between 1964 and 1965, and was thrilled to win the Mr. Olympia. I was not happy with this publicity, although I was flattered. I considered myself a mere mortal and the best in the IF, perhaps the best in 1965. I never put myself in the same class as Bill Pearl or Reg Park. In early 1966, I did an interview for Weider's Mr. America magazine and stated that I would over 5 years. This was before I saw these articles. I didn't like the direction the promoters were taking the Mr. Olympia. Another event that occurred to me in 1966 was meeting a very special woman named Rachel. She would become Mrs. Larry Scott. Some of you may know that I was married once before. The marriage didn't work out. I was working a full-time job, going to night school, and training 2 hours a day pre-contest. I couldn't build a houseplant on that schedule, let alone a relationship. My ex-wife was a great person. We divorced in a Christian and friendly way, but the pain was there for a long time. She was a good woman. I wanted to be Mr. Universe and had to work for a living. Didn't give me much time for anything else. Can't blame her. However, I was determined to never allow this to ever happen again. Training for the 1966 Mr. Olympia was difficult. I wanted to